Welcome back. This week we're in Prague.
Join us as we explore the cultural highlights of this stunning capital and maybe even fit in a beer or two.
Welcome to The Right Life. We're Catherine and Edward, a married couple based in London with a passion for travel and experiencing the world together. On our channel, we share our adventures from uncovering hidden gems to learning about new cultures and discovering amazing historical sites. Join us as we explore the world.
Been in Prague for about 4 hours and apparently we've managed to find the last hour of the 2022 Christmas market. So, Merry Christmas 2022.
Tree's still up, and then you got the church, and then you got the man doing the pork over there, who might be my new best friend soon. I'll get a close up of that later. And then, like, you know, some chocolate box houses. I started to like Prague. So what they got there? They got honey wine, hot punch, or
What do you want?
alcohol-free punch. What's that? I'll get a honey wine.
You're closed.
Oh man. Anyway, got white punch, Christmas punch, rose punch, childlike punch.
They both have raspberry.
So that's a no-no from you then, isn't it?
You can have one now.
No, that's alright. The thing about Christmas markets is that they sell stuff that no one really wants in their house. I'm starting to like the Czech Republic. Lots of beer, lots of pork, lots of awesome pork. Oh, it smells lovely. I'm all getting all emotional over it, Catherine. Once we got past the opera house and all that, oh, that's lovely. Ta-da!
Got wine.
Ished. What do you want for Christmas from the Marionetti? That's a really creepy
I want nothing.
It's gonna move in a minute. Don't do that, you silly woman. Oh my god.
No visit to Prague would be complete without seeing the astronomical clock strike the hour. We finished off the night with a couple of beers at a traditional pub.
Well, it's the next morning and they ain't no joke. It literally is the last day of the market yesterday. It was the last day of the market yesterday. So they're up there taking all the lights off the tree already. Everything's shuttering up. Carvings of, I'm assuming, Santa Claus.
We're standing on the famous Charles Bridge, which was commissioned by Charles IV in the mid-1300s, but wasn't finished until 1390. However, these fantastic statues behind me, which are of various saints, were not added until the 17th century, and the bridge didn't get the name of Charles Bridge until the 19th century. So let's go check out some saints. We have just climbed 800 million steps.
About 150 steps.
to get to Prague Castle. And it's what, 50 degrees Fahrenheit out?
Yeah.
We've had to take our coats off.
Sweating, getting all the beer out of my system from
Yeah.
yesterday and the polk and all that.
Definitely paying for the sins of yesterday. But now we're going to go see some history. Excited?
Yeah, why not?
Prague Castle isn't only one site, but rather a complex of historically important buildings.
All right, our first stop at the castle is, oh God, I've got two cameras at me. Our first stop is St. Francis Cathedral. This is the largest and most important religious center in Prague. This is also where all the coronations of Czech kings has happened over the centuries, and several of those kings are actually buried here, along with some patron saints of the city. Let's go explore. Unfortunately, we can't actually go in this room. Something I learned in my medieval art and architecture course is that when somebody has an umbrella over their head, they're usually important. So I think this guy behind me must have been super important, but maybe it's not just the umbrella that gives it away.
St. John of Nepomuc was martyred for protecting the Catholic faith and is a protector from floods and drowning.
Edward's got his own selfie stick now. Oh look, you can see that there used to be a bit of a painting on here. Oh, look at the columns. Oh, that's incredible. The way it goes up. I forget what this is called. I wasn't very good in my class on medieval art and architecture. Apparently this is the Diet Hall.
The diet.
The Diet Hall.
Better get out of here then. Mercy.
This is St. George Basilica, which has been around since about 973. There's some old paintings here, and this is considered to be the second place of worship in Prague.
What do you think?
I mean, pretty good nick for originally being built in 973.
It's just a beautiful street.
Picturesque Golden Lane was built in the 16th century to house the castle guards, but takes its name from the goldsmiths that lived here a century later. You can go into several of the small houses, however, it was very crowded and hard to film.
So glad we're going down these bad boys now instead of up. We made it.
This restaurant opened in 1375, and it really feels like stepping back in time.
This is medieval enough for you, sweetheart.
I mean, I can't see them in here because it's by candlelight.
And there's swords and armour on the wall.
No, I just...
Just been told there's medieval down here, so we're eating with our hands. And a bowl of water. And some napkins. Alas, poor Warwick, I knew him well. I'm going to be noble in a mind to withstand his fortunes, slings and arrows. I don't know.
Back in modern day.
Modern day.
It's all over.
Oh no.
It's fun while it lasted.
That's good.
I love a good time travel.
After a late lunch, we headed back to the hotel, but we did run into a very musical protest. The trams in Prague are really easy to use. You just change the language, choose the length of time you need, and pay with your contactless card.
I thought he was going to be upstairs. It's better.
That evening, it was time for some culture. We picked a variety performance which included an orchestra, opera, and ballet. It really covered all of the cultural bases.
How is it? What is it?
It's, I don't know, it's like a...
Chimney cake.
Yeah, it's called a chimney cake, but it's like donut, but stretched out, and then mine's got chocolate on it.
Is it good?
It's alright.
We ended the night by treating on Czech beer with Belgian beer.
Good morning. For our second day for our last day in Prague, we've come to the Old Masters Gallery. The Prague National Museum is a little bit different because it's not one museum, there are several. So we chose to go to the Old Masters 1 and 2. And it's a really interesting collection because there's a lot of artists I've never heard of. And then randomly there'll be a Rubens or a Tiepolo. And every piece is just beautiful. I really enjoyed it. Have you enjoyed it?
It's alright, yeah. I don't like all the godmotherly stuff, it's boring. I like all the Renaissance, classical stuff.
Yeah.
It's good. Oil on canvas, not oil on wood. What's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with that.
This enormous carving of Christ on the cross was created in 1720 and used to hang in a monastery.
There's a crannock over here. This is Study of a Man in Profile by Peter Paul Rubens. Zeus's dad, Kronos, eating his children.
They're calling him Saturnus.
Saturn.
Yeah. Is his dad Saturn?
Yeah.
His mom is, I just have
Gaia.
Gaia. So I feel like that must be Zeus hiding and she's trying to protect another one of them.
Yeah. It's probably Poseidon.
After all of that museum exploring, it was definitely time for a bite to eat. So we have come to the Strahov. We've come to the Strahov Monastery Brewery, and there's actually a monastery here where you can go and explore the monastery as well. But we needed to sit down, so we might do that later. And instead, we've come to the brewery for some typical We've come to the brewery for some typical Czech food, as well as some beer. And it should be coming right up. Have you had enough pork on this trip?
No, actually, I've only had some ham. And now we've got a proper pork knuckle to get getting on with.
And I'm glad we only got one.
It's too much.
After lunch, it was time to head home. So we picked up our things from the hotel and grabbed a cab back to the airport. Thank you for joining us on our first trip of 2023. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and comment below. There are more adventures to come.
You can also have some grog for 80 kroners, which I might try later.